Everyone, you're watching Chris on Real Talk. It is Tuesday the 8th of September 2020. Now if you're wondering why are we not allowed to have electric cars, I had a very interesting conversation yesterday with a lady from the Housing Association, and I just thought I'd ask a few different questions really. And it's basically we all know that in the next let's just say 10 to 15 years, even now, if you want to, we're going to have to buy electric cars. We're going to have to do it. Roy West, hello mate. So we're all going to have to buy electric cars for those of us that drive, because it's the way forward, according to the government. Roy, I'm good. Reese, hello. So buying an electric car, we know that buying electric cars is the right thing to do. It is. It's cleaner, it's greener. This is a conversation for another time though, but that power does get passed on to a power station, which then has to work harder, but you know, we'll leave that as it is. But within the next 15 years or so, I would assume most new cars would have to be electric, considering the government want to do away with hybrids and self-charging hybrids and plug-in hybrids and petrol and diesel. Just get rid of it basically. So I put my feelers out. I called Clarion being the housing association which I pay my rent, and I asked the lady on the phone, Lee Jones. I asked the lady on the phone, I said to her, if I wanted to buy an electric vehicle, how would I go about charging said vehicle when there are no electric charge points on my estate? The woman then said to me, I need to ask permission, which is what I was expecting her to say. I would have to ask permission for an electric charge point to be made available outside my block. Fine, fair enough, not a problem. But there is a problem. The problem is if an electric charge point gets put in one of the few parking spaces that there are, does that parking space then become my space? Will I have to pay them a premium to have that space reserved? Would I have a bollard put there and a key so that only I could park my car there? And the woman then said to me, I don't know. Fine. I then said to her, within the next 5 to 10 years, how likely is it for Clarion to upgrade this housing estate and various other housing estates to accommodate electric charge points, as it is the future, it is what's going to have to happen? She then said to me again, she doesn't know. I then said to her, consider this. If there are 10 blocks, which is minimum, there's at least 15 blocks on my estate, and there are 15 flats within each block, and each flat pays an average of £750 a month for rent, and that's an average. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive, but on average, how much money is then made by those 15 blocks with 15 properties in each block? How much money is made per month? It's a lot. We've had this conversation before. Go check out the video on housing associations. I then said to her, would it be reasonable for me to ask for the money that this estate generates to be reinvested back into the estate, considering housing associations are supposed to be non-profit organisations? Where is the money going? She couldn't answer me that either. She couldn't. So if I was to buy an electric car and the electric car came with its own specialised charging point, say a Tesla, for example, or a BMW, an i3 or an i8 or whatever. I believe it's a universal fitting for electric vehicles. I don't know. Someone please drop a comment down below and let me know. But if that car comes with its own electric charge point specific for that vehicle, I then cannot buy that vehicle because I have to ask permission. And if I'm not granted permission to buy an electric vehicle, then I can't have the electric charge point. Which then means if, let's just say 10, 15 years from now, I'm forced to buy an electric car because petrol has become £2.20 a litre, and diesel's become £2.70 a litre, and road tax has gone up to £300 per year, regardless of how clean your vehicle is, then if I'm being told I can't have an electric car to do my bit for the environment and possibly save some money in the long term, then it's kind of a backwards thing, isn't it? I would have assumed that the ideas that I put forward to this woman would have been noted down, put in a book, given to a manager somewhere, and then they could chew over that. They could think about it at least. It's like, how much money are we making off this estate? A few £100,000 per month. Okay, not a problem. What we're going to do is we're going to expand the parking. And yes, there is room on my estate for parking to be expanded. There is room for more vehicles to be allowed to park. And then they could say, well, what we're going to do is every other space, or even in every space, we're going to upgrade to have a charge point behind the vehicle or at the front or just somewhere, so you can plug in your vehicle to charge overnight. For me, that would be a great investment into the estate. It would make people want to live there. It would make people want to buy an electric car because it would mean that there's somewhere to actually charge the damn vehicle. But housing associations, they are money grabbing bastards. Let's not lie. Let's not play games with what the reality of the situation is. Yes, they are cheap or cheaper than private rent, but it's not really doable in the long term, is it? I mean, with housing associations, they're not gonna do the sensible thing, are they? They're not gonna look at the situation and say, okay, fine, we're gonna spend some of the money that we've earned from you. Champion Man, Western Champion Man 2008, hi. They're not gonna look at this and go, okay, fine, the money that you've spent, we're gonna reinvest back into the people. We're gonna spend this money on regenerating this broken down housing estate. Let's read some of these comments. I do appreciate everyone commenting. I have not been around lately. FW4 Sep, hope you're well, Chris. It's Francis. Yep, I know. How you doing, mate? Using account for Sep1592. I hope you're well. Hi, Chris. Hope you're keeping well. Sarah, I'm very well. Funnily enough, I'm still on furlough. That's good and bad. It's good because they're taking precautions, because obviously being high risk doesn't disappear overnight. And also the numbers are going up, and I've said this for weeks, I've said it for months, the numbers are going to go up, and lo and behold, it's taken a little bit longer than I thought it would, but guess what? It's happening. But I'm still furloughed, and that could possibly be till the end of the month. It could be until the end of next month. I don't know. They're going to keep me in the loop, hopefully. There are charging points for electric cars outside Poundland at Gillingham Business Park at Kent. But the thing is, this is all well and good saying there are electric charge points for vehicles in random locations. I know that if I leave my house and I go down a road called Amberley Grove, and then I cross over the road and go down the hill, I know there are 2 charge points there in the borough of Lewisham. But they're just 2 random charge points. They're not really connected to anything else. And the thing is, they draw their power from the light, the street lighting. It's all connected in that way, but it's 2 random charge points is not really convenient for everyone else that should be buying electric vehicles. Let's read some more of these. Electric cars are mate calling. I have to call him back. All right, if you've got your own driveway, not for us who live in flats. That's very true. Plus, you only lease the batteries. Yes, you lease the batteries, and the batteries aren't recyclable. And replacing the batteries can cost an absolute arm and a leg. Still settling, but I got lots of support. Sarah, I do hope you are well. I do hope you have the support that you need, and that you're coping with the situation that's pretty much bringing the country to its knees currently. Anyway, I'm going to go. I want to let you chew over that, give you something to think about. And if you think that what I've said here makes any sense, give a thumbs up. If you don't like what I said and you think I'm chatting an absolute load of old twad, hit the thumbs down button. Be honest about it, but don't be abusive. I will block you. Being nice is pretty much easy and free. And if it's your first time joining me, please hit that subscribe button. And I wish everyone has a wonderful, wonderful day.